We are just leaving Bonaire, bound for Jamaica, which will be our longest crossing. And as we're pulling out, this little squall's come through. That's made this beautiful rainbow going right the way across the sky behind us.
Maybe it's a good omen.
Maybe it's a good omen.
We hope it's a good omen. We've just completed the second night of our 5-day crossing to Jamaica. And you can see the sun rising there through some really nasty looking weather. Unfortunately, although we're not going that way, you can see we're actually surrounded by these huge cumulonimbus clouds, which basically mean we're going to get rained on heavily and we're going to get some really big winds. So we've already got one reef in the sails, but I think we're going to have to put some more reefs in there. And I've got my foul weather gear on because I know it's going to be really horrible. Final part of our long crossing from Bonaire to Jamaica. It's been 4 days and 4 nights and it's been quite eventful. The first night we actually had the worst storm that we've had at sea, 39 knots of wind, waves splashing over the deck. We were both sitting here in our wet weather gear all the way through the night trying to just keep the boat sailing forward with minimal sails to stop it from heeling over too much. So that was quite eventful. But 2 nights after that, Chris was actually on watch, and suddenly there was this blinding glare of this searchlight through the back cabin and over the decks, and over the radio came the Coast Guard.
Who had snuck up behind us in the middle of the night.
Through the storm clouds, no lights, so they weren't visible on the they weren't visible.
They weren't visible on the radar, and we'd turned the alarm off. Emma hasn't had a lot of sleep for the last few days, so she's having real trouble thinking.
We couldn't see them because of the lights. And then ensued this inquest about where we come from, where we were going, all the details of the boat. Anyway, we've just had a similar kind of inquest, although actually the guy was a lot more polite. And you can see behind the Coast Guard vessel just turning in. I believe came out just to question us. Yeah, so you can mix and match.
So there they are. They probably come out here every day to patrol the area because it's open sea between here and Venezuela and Colombia, where a lot of the drug trafficking comes in from South America. And apparently a lot of it's routed through Jamaica, which we can see at last, and we're going over there to Port Antonio, which is where we used to go diving all the time, and hopefully we'll meet up with Jan from Lady Godiva and her family. Hope they're doing well. That's where we used to dive with Mad Bob the Butcher, who worked for the DEA here on the island, who was preventing those drugs coming through here at the time, and also trying to break up the local cottage industry of growing ganja in the hills, the mountains there. Can't really see them today, but behind those clouds are the John Crow Mountains, and behind that the Blue Mountains, which we climbed to the top of once when we lived here. Anyway, that's all for now. The Coast Guard is giving us a personal escort into Port Antonio Harbour to celebrate our return to the island. They've done a lab report on us, did you say?
Ready to commence the boarding.
Is that our fishing line that they've got?
I hope so.
Roger, with the Jamaicans heading up, if they feel they're ready to commence the boarding.
They didn't.
Boarding.
We need to get the fishing lines in first thing.
Boarding.
Reporting good, thanks.
A little bit more.
I think I got some of that. The guy didn't want me to do it.
No?
No.
Don't do it then.
Well, I guess that wasn't a personal escort. They just came and boarded. Had a look round. And now they've returned to the big cutter. And now we're going to head on into harbour. After that very harrowing experience with the Coast Guard, we're just coming along the coastline here looking at these beautiful blowholes. Really quite dramatic. We're just coming up to our old stomping ground at Port Antonio. You can see there the inlet going in. Well, here we are coming up to Port Antonio, and that is Dragon Bay Villas, where we used to stay often. And just over to the right there is the Blue Hole, and the villas by the Blue Hole where we stayed for Christmas so many years ago. Just to the right of that is Monkey Island. And you can see just beyond that there's a boat actually in there. That's where the old dive shop used to be, just behind that boat there.
We went into Port Antonio yesterday and covered and got a bit of provisioning done, and it's the afternoon of the following day now, and we're heading down to Sansan, and we're hoping to get down through the reef. Sansan's just behind Alligator Head, which is what you can see now, the perfect alligator shape. That's where we used to go diving all the time. There's a lovely reef just off Alligator Head, and we'll certainly be doing that over the next couple of days. Looks like one of them just got thrown off. It just grabs it by grabs it by the scruff of the neck and tosses her on the back. Very romantic.
Jamaican style. Oh yeah, here, hold on.
Grab
to me, darling. Change gears.
Here we are at Janet Steve's for Thanksgiving. They got their tree up already.
So how much did you want for it? Well, they were going about
Chris?
2 weeks before this. We were going for like 20, 25. I got a 51 trade.
You decide to break your camera? Emma, you don't want to break the camera.
Got to get this on film. All the goodies.
You're taking a picture of the turkeys?
Yeah, look at that. Ooh, that looks good. Sorry, had to
Are
do
you
that.
Just leaving Port Antonio now. There's a lighthouse on the entrance to the port, and as we're leaving, coming along behind us is this great big evil looking storm. You can run but you can't hide. It's gonna catch us up fairly soon, but Emma's prepared for it.
I tend to get soaking wet.
The sun is just coming up over Cuba there. We're on the third day of our longest journey so far, which is from Grand Cayman, returning to the States, going into Key West.
De Alto Cedro voy para Marcané, llego a Puerto voy para Mayarín. De Alto Cedro llego a Puerto, voy para Mayarín. El cariño que te tengo no te lo puedo negar, se me sale la babita, yo no lo puedo evitar. Cuando Juanica y Chan Chan en el mar servían arena, como sacudí el jibe, a Chan Chan le daba pena.